So in order to clearly define the process and of course the law, the protocols, and the education that it took for me to get back to where I am now, which is reclaiming my portfolio that I share with my family and my friends that are my business partners. That includes investors and everything else. But the bottom line is I had to first learn that each court is a vessel in dry dock. It's its own entity. It's its own foreign entity. And when you go into those foreign entities, you are your own vessel. And when you trespass on another vessel, you're trespassing. So every one of these district courts, demon god of the underworld courts, that's what it is. And it does have its own jurisdiction, which, within that court, within that enclosed area called court, it's its own little country. It's its own little thing. Just like if you went onto a ship out at port that was flying a Russian flag or a Chinese flag, and you went onto that boat or that ship without a sea pass, a sea treaty, or a bill of lading, or any reason to be there, contracted, right? You could be arrested, put in the brig, and do 8 years. And that's basically what I've been doing. 8 fucking years, man. Pardon my French. So I've been doing 8 years because this started in 2017 for me. It's 2025, and I'm finally now starting to win cases. I won my first case July 1st. So June 27th, it came to fruition. June 28th, I filed it July 2nd. So as of July 4th, today, 2025, I now have clarity in a 70-page document establishing my first case, which I'm going to clean up a lot. It has evidence in it. It has the writ of de novo. It has the Quaranto complaint, 26-page Quaranto complaint, which took me months and months and months to type up. And it has, all of the laws that were broken by the fraudsters and the rip-offs. Then it has, of course, the correct way of doing things. It has the evidence, and it has what's called a writ of fault document contract claim, which the fake courts call a default judgment. So I have my judgment in there, or my conclusion. It's concluded through the writ of fault document contract claim. That is the correct parse, syntax, grammar. All of this parse, syntax, grammar is necessary because it's a mathematical formula for clarifying definition. Just like if I was speaking to you in Russian and you only spoke Chinese, you wouldn't understand a word I was saying. That way we define with mathematical certainty each and every definition so that there isn't any room for a different conclusion than the contract you and I are discussing. We both conclude that we both have the knowledge to speak to each other in English, and then what English each word means, the syntax on how the words come together, what they mean and their definition, and then finally the conclusion of that defined communication in that contract. And that, my friends, is the only way to certify, because like they say, nobody ever went to war over a math problem. And as Pharaoh said in 4700 BC, as it is written, so it shall be done. So that is how we have to do all things so that there isn't any fraud, lying, cheating, perjury, manipulation, or otherwise collusion that would, because all contracts, all parties, if it's in trade, both parties get something of equal value. It may not be equal value to one party, but both parties are happy. If there is a trade or a barter or any situation where one party gets all and another party gets nothing, that's not fair trade. That's in any world. And that's where we're at in a lot of these places with these foreclosures, with these predatory lenders, with the corrupt court systems that are putting people in jail for nothing or saying they did something that they didn't do or whatever. I mean, I've been a party to that end of the corruption so many times I Can't count on both hands and feet. But the bottom line is, once you learn that it's all corrupt, and then learn how to do a mathematical communications to not only secure your communications, but to secure the fraud from others that it does not represent or misrepresent you, so that you end up being slaughtered by it or being the beneficiary of some negative environment or negative state of being, which is impossible. You can't have a negative state of being. It's all performance. You're either doing something or you didn't do it, right? You can't not do something. You can't not park. You can't not trespass. You can't not pay your bill, it's all double negatives, which don't exist. You can't have a negative state of motion. You can only have a positive state of motion. You either are running or you're sitting down. But there is no not running. That's not a state of being. So it's a lot of brainwash, my friend, and it's going to take some time for all of us, I think, to get through it. But the bottom line is, once you understand that fact, that there is no negative condition of state, there's either performance or there's a different performance. You're either performing or you're performing something else. There is no not performing. There's no no-no. The no-nos don't work. You can't put a no-no in a computer and make it work. It's either working or it's doing something else. So it's going to take some time, but the bottom line is, once you figure that out, once you start learning the mathematical interface on communications, and I do personally think it's at least a year. I'm in about 2 years now, and I'm just becoming comfortable. And I've been studying this now every day for, minimum of 6 to 8 hours, and some days it's all day, 16 hours, 18 hours. I'm just cramming it in, man. And I understand it. It's not hard to understand. It's not hard to get the mathematical interface, but it is hard to debug your brain from all of this manipulation that we've been through. And if you're angry and frustrated like I was for a long time, I was really angry. And all I can tell you is, I was too. And now what I realize is there's no reason to be angry. Corruption is corruption. And you can either choose to participate in it or not. Just like people who litter. Yeah, they suck. But you know what? That's their problem. They need to learn that littering's bullshit. And it's just like people who are mean. People who are mean suck, right? But I've been mean to people. And I sucked, right? And I'm sure I'll suck again. And we all make mistakes, so we have to forgive and forget somewhat. Sometimes not so easy to forget. But I don't want to get bogged down here, but I do want to say that it is an emotional ride. It is serious business, and it is overwhelming to some people. It was overwhelming to me to know that every court across my land, this great country that I call home, America. And by the way, the United States of America, it literally stands for no mercy for the sheep. Do you know what justice stands for? J-U, which is no, S, which is speak, T-I, which is title, and justice, and C-E, which is judge. Judge title speaks no law. That's what it means. The reason why the judges are wearing black, because they're mourning for Lady Justice. And it's justice speaks no law. So we think of justice as mean like a balanced transaction or a balanced state of affairs where everybody gets equal consideration. It's not what it means. They've corrupted it all the way down. It's in our language. It's in our schools. Principle. PRI means no. So a principle's there to make sure that the schools teach us nothing, keep us dumbed down, and keep us in the fiction so that we end up getting trapped in a district court, which is demon god for trickery of the underworld court. That's what district court stands for. Demon god of the underworld for trickery court. If you knew any better, you'd think the whole place was just Satan's whole fucking backyard. But it really isn't. It is all corrupt. But, here's the but. It is corrupt so that you have an opportunity to shine outside the corruption. I think that this is where, just like with the Good Samaritan law, it's up to you to say, hey, you know what? That is unacceptable. I don't stand for that shit. You can't punch that lady in the face. You can't rape that young girl. You can't steal our children. You can't do this. You can't thieve that. We're not standing for it. And even though that shit is evil and totally wrong, and it is, we have to be the ones to stand and say no. Just like many of our leaders have said, all it takes for evil to prosper is to have a good man not stand. If a good man won't stand, evil can get away with everything. But if we stand, evil can't get away with anything. And that's the point. Evil is evil. Dark is dark. Wrong is wrong. It's up to us to correct it. So, without sounding like an arrogant asshole, let's get up, stand up. Let's support one another, and let's flip this buggy around. Because it's frustrating as all get out when this BS starts to gain some momentum, as it has in my life. Now I'm turning the tables, but it is frustrating. Happy to help. Thanks for listening.